Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanys Coughlan with the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Jurkofsky, from My Holistic Self. Welcome, everyone. Here we are again, another week.
Yeah. How's it going?
It is another week.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
That's what we're doing. We're surfing. That's what we're doing. Right? So we did have some interesting space weather today. So we'll look at that. And unless you wanted to just talk about how your week was first.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting week. So we can dive into it after. We'll talk a little bit about what's been going on and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And you guys put in there what it is that has been going on with you. Maybe we'll just say a quick hello to Hypnocity. Hey, Delaney, welcome. And we have Kaylee with us. Awesome. Welcome. And she says she blew cinnamon into the doorway this morning, welcoming love, light, and abundance. Beautiful.
Awesome.
First of the month, best time. That's great. All right. So here we have our KPI. Fairly quiet, right? You will notice here, though, that we had an X1.9 solar flare with the coronal hole facing Earth. So when we look at that, we can go here. We actually see it here. All right. What's that doing there? There we go. We have it here. So that was earlier today, like wee morning hours. And we also have had a number of M-class you see here in the last couple of days. So we've had a fair bit of activity in terms of the solar flares. So that may be something that you're feeling. And it's interesting because when I looked at this, it's nothing huge, but look at all this, like, it's like scattered more than usual. Like sometimes we'll have be solid thingies. So it hasn't been like one big solid thing at all, but it's been this sort of constant hum that's a little higher than average. We're only at 20 today, which is still elevated compared to the 7.8 hertz. That is the baseline. But, it's not like the big spikes, which are up at like 80, 90, 300, that stuff. So... So that's where we're at with our space weather. And you were saying we've got a pressure change happening as well with your human barometer.
Yes. Because I'm very sensitive to the changes. I use Shift, or it's like Weather X. So it's like an app. And it lets you know every time there's going to be a pressure change, just so that you can be aware of it. If anybody's super sensitive to it, they even have special earplugs that you can use that help allow the pressure within the brain to actually just go slowly, as opposed to the quick shifts that we have happening in the atmosphere. So,
and this is within the hour, apparently. So, we might just all of a sudden, both of us go, we're done.
And we're out.
And we're out. Okay. You never know. That's the thing. I find my reaction to these things is not. It's not like it's this thing. I'm going to feel this way. It's not, for me. It's not like that. It seems to shift. And I'm never quite sure what I'm going to feel with the changes that happen. So it's kind of an interesting, it's a fun ride.
It is. There's so much to pay attention to.
There is.
It can be a lot sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Nalani says, I never understood my mom when she'd say, I'm feeling melancholy lately. The last few days, I finally got it. Yeah, I can understand that. Yep.
Yeah.
And Kaylee says those shifts always give me migraines. Makes me understand why we might have been accused of being witches. The rain is coming. I think there may have been other reasons, like we were wise, but
you know how to heal things properly.
had fun in the forest with the moon.
Yeah. Oh my golly.
I think there might have been a few things.
So many things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting because we'll get into the transits in a minute, but I was just on with Gerald earlier today, Tarot Stash, and we were doing a laugh and learn human design. And we were talking about cognitions, which is like your superpower, spidey senses, all that kind of stuff. And Tanys and I both were feeling, and feeling has a lot to do with feeling in the environment, all the tingles, all the stuff, right? Like those are our signs of, you know, what's going on and all of that. So that connectedness to the energy. Howdy.
Speaking of which, in both senses.
Yes. So anyway, it was a really awesome show. So if you're interested in finding out about your own spidey senses, go ahead and give it a watch and pull your chart and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you got to check the human design stuff out because it's cool. It's a lot of fun. You learn a lot about yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of the human design, we do the transits, and the transits are where we're at
hey, Annie.
Given moment in the energies. And so right now, and I talked about it a little bit last week because we were transitioning into the 9 gate in the middle of the week. And so we're going to be in this gate until the 3rd. And then we're going to transition into the other gate, and we're going to be in that gate until next Monday. So these are kind of the 2 energies that we're working with until we see you guys again next week. And so the gate 9 that we're in.
Is that you being insistent that they come back next week? I'm like, what is this, Jen? Are you putting a spell on our viewers? What's going on?
No.
I'm teasing. She would never do that. But it's funny.
No. But yeah, no, just it's the way my brain is processing. So right now we are in the gate 9. The gate 9 is the taming the power of the small. So it's about focus.
Good to know.
You know those stores that you go into and you know that they've put like charms or enchantment on things because you can never leave without buying something? Yeah.
Costco.
I would be surprised if Costco has somebody do. No, it does make sense because you never leave with just the thing you went in for.
Sorry, Costco. I'm teasing, really.
Mostly.
It's my weakness that I can't leave with what I came for.
Oh, it's so true. And yet it's one of those stores that I get in and I'm like, get me out of here before I've even gone into it. Like I just...
Well, what does that say? Maybe we are right.
There is something to this. I am sure of it.
Oh, dear.
Okay, gate 9. It's moving us from the shadow of inertia to the Siddhi of invincibility through the gift of determination. And so, again, I know we talked about it last time, but just as a quick kind of refresher, it's being the victim of overwhelm, getting stuck or feeling really scattered, the fear of starting or committing to something.
Totally talks to me this week. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So the shadow of inertia shows up as the inability to move forward. Not because we lack potential, but because the tasks feel too big or too complicated or too unclear, right? So the mind might be doing the, I don't know where to begin, or this is just too much, or I'll do it later.
You were in my head. Sorry, I'm not suffering light bulb moments very quietly today.
I think we all need to have those holy shit moments. Okay, so I'm actually not alone in this. This is just the collective energy. Cool. Okay, good to know.
This is me saying, okay, all of it, I will leave until after the 3rd.
Hey, I'm telling you, if you're in that energy and you don't have the channel to like keep on going with it, like just sit back and be like, I'm going to take it easy and give myself some love this week. And I'll just deal with that. As it says, I'll do it later.
I got to ride my wave.
The beautiful thing with this energy, though, is that when we can transmute it, we can move into the gift, which is determination, right? This is focused momentum, the power of steady attention. So, and again, you know, being able to tap into that energy comes with noticing the inertia first. And so really the inertia, you know, a lot of people will look at it and go like, oh, laziness, right? But it's not that at all. It's just that there is this unchanneled energy. And because it builds up, we don't know how to channel it all the time. Right?
Don't channel it into the computer. I'm telling you, it's not a good idea.
Technology doesn't handle it well. That is true.
Been there, done that. Don't want to do that again.
In the gift frequency, this is where priorities get clear. We have increased productivity and the ability to work consistently. So again, just noticing what's going on and then moving towards that shift. And so this is where following that authority, if you need to ride a wave right now, just ride the wave. Don't try to make a decision. But if you're in a place where you are starting to gain that clarity about something, determination is going to feel like this quiet inner yes to the task at hand. So being able to just sit back and go, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I want to put my energy towards that. Right? And then once we're able to do that, all the distractions start to fall away because we've decided the energy wants to flow. And if that is an alignment, there is going to be able to be that focus. But until we get there, it is going to feel a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry.
Done.
This sounds like a scary movie. There's a lot of suspense.
We move into gate 5.
Oh, it has a tree.
It's
not a Twillow tree, though.
No,
it's
but
not
it's
a Twillow
a sturdy tree.
It is.
I'll put my hand over here because then I'm not blocking anything. The gate 5 is the gate of waiting. So it's fixed rhythms. And it's about the rhythm within sacred patterns. And so the energy here is moving us from the shadow of impatience to the to the siddhi of timelessness through the gift of patience. And so this coming gate is all about natural rhythms. So the inner clock that's going to harmonize our life with the deeper pulse of existence. What we're looking at with this energy is about rhythmic alignment. And so it's about trusting the frequency and letting life unfold in that way. And so it becomes something that we can flow with. So in the shadow, impatience, it's about being the victim of time. We're rushing, we're restless, we have a fear of not getting there fast enough. So it's really interesting to think about like the way that these energies, again, right, because they build, as we go through. And so where the gate we're in now, the inertia is whispering, oh, I don't know where to begin. This is too much. The impatience is more like, why is this taking so long? I should be further ahead. Right.
Wait, what is time?
It's a man-made construct that doesn't actually exist in the greater reality, but we're somehow subject to it anyway.
Can I opt out of that option?
But then nobody would know when to find us.
True. When the sun hits, there. Count.
At this time of year.
Yes.
There is no sun left for us right now.
Okay, fine. I'll listen to time. Sorry. But time is like, it's a challenge for some of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's that time blindness because, we've had lives on other planets and we didn't really have time in the same way.
My lovely Manny Jens.
She's not, but
it's so funny, like even just to hear and the differences around time and time management and understanding time. It's really wild how we each handle that differently based on our designs.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Kaylee wants to know if time didn't exist, then maybe she thinks she might get everything done.
Why do you have to do everything?
What is everything? Don't do that now. You know what I'm talking about. You don't need to do that now. We could step in and out as, see, that concept I like. We could step in and out as needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that from somebody I know. She knows what I'm talking about.
Over this little card.
I think there's a few of us in the room, to be honest.
Yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So just notice that energy. If it's coming up for you, it can show up as frustration with delays, struggling to slow down, difficulty staying present, wanting to skip steps, feeling like life is just not cooperating with you. So if that happens, slow down and feel the natural pulse. This is so important. You want to feel your natural pulse, not the pulse of whoever's trying to push you to do something, not the pulse of the clock or the pressures or any of the other stuff. You want to be able to feel your natural pulse. That's going to help.
I'm still alive.
Take those deeper breaths, bring you back to presence. And in that moment, when you re-enter the rhythm, the pressure can start to dissolve. And then patience, right? Which is the gift, the piece of being in time, right? This is a very different way of being with the energy than being on the clock, right? When we're in the rhythm, there's steadiness, spaciousness for clarity, calmer decision-making. In that space, we can trust the timing and the cycles. And so it just shifts our whole way of being in it. So if you're noticing it coming up, if you're noticing, crap, here I go. I'm mad because of this delay, or I'm upset because I can't stay present. Notice the impatience. It's not a flaw. And I think this is the biggest thing when people talk about the shadow is we think, this is the thing that's wrong with us. It's not a flaw. It's a sign that our system is craving rhythm. Okay, so we want to return to that steady timing and that rhythm. Okay.
I hear tap dancing.
It's the doggos. They're tapping away because my crew is getting in the door.
Yes. Yeah, I was talking to someone about patience today. That is a challenge for many to have that patience and feeling like you're never getting enough done and wanting to push everything forward and right? Especially at this time of year, because we all move into our overachiever because we have way more family commitments. There's stuff to be done. Yes. Isn't it amazing how families bring so much expectation, even without trying to?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing how that happens.
It's not even that they bring it. It's like there is a part of us that is so conditioned.
Yeah.
Right? That we just step right back into those roles and we don't always even realize it's happening.
Yeah.
It's,
So watch your programming, folks. This is where we get to review how we deal with family, how we deal with, those beautiful holiday parties and whatnot, or the stresses thereof. I mean, it's a busy time for a lot of people, those that work in retail or, those that do retail therapy. Either side, it's a busy time. Sorry, I did take a silly pill. Not pill, but I have my Pleiadians here. That's my excuse.
They're always there. That's not an excuse.
Sometimes they're funnier than others.
They're chiming in a lot today.
Yeah, all the comedy. It's not mine. It's theirs. They stand behind me and giggle, and so then I just start to giggle. That's kind of how it works. Either giggle or hum. So
it's so good for us, though, to laugh and giggle and have fun. And it's so important now, right? We're going into, as you said, this time where there's a lot of added stress, and it doesn't matter where we are in the spectrum of things. There is just stress. It's collective in the energy. It's okay. We just notice it and go, okay. Let me breathe through it. Right? So right now with the inertia, I'm going to breathe through it, and I'm going to just take a step and see how that brings me into a more grounded place so I can start to feel the shifts. Right? Yeah. Movement turns confusion into clarity. I want to make sure that we're operating from that clear place as opposed to from that chaotic place.
I'm looking forward to the next week and a half. For some reason, it is often a week where I have difficulty. I end up feeling, and I don't even notice until after it's there. So this year I'm actually kind of going into it, looking forward to noticing what comes up for me. Because it seems like every year at this time, like early December, it's not even like right in the holidays. So early December, the first couple of weeks, there's a time where I'm clearing a bunch of stuff. And oftentimes it's like past stuff. Sometimes it's past life. So often it's a combination of stuff. So it'll be interesting for me to see what comes up this year. I don't know why. It's just an interesting time.
Yeah. It's interesting too.
You're helping me already. Thank you. She's coughing. I clear with coughing. So if she was helping me, she'd actually be burping, but she's not. So,
Yeah, it's that lingering, whatever it is.
I've had it too. We were both sick a couple of weeks ago, guys. So that's why.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Again, I don't really get into all of the nuances of it. I just kind of share the gates. But depending on where that gate shows up in our design, it makes a difference. So if it shows up and it's just a hanging gate, which means it's not connected to anything, there's a lot of pressure around it, right? If it joins a gate that we already have, then it just emphasizes that energy. And if it completes a channel, like the gate 5 for me completes, I have a hanging gate 15. And so it completes it. So during that time, I have access to energy that I don't generally have access to, right? So it shows up, each gate does this for each of us. And so noticing like how it actually fits within our chart is quite valuable.
Well, that's interesting. I should check that because, then I should plan the start of programs at that time when I have more energy.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And we could look at that, like the formatting gates, which are between the root and the sacral, right? If you notice which ones if you have any, and then if there's hanging gates there, once they're completed, right, there's more ability to get things going.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Lots of interesting informations. But that is what we are.
How is everyone else doing?
Mm-hmm.
We've got quite a few on here. So, this show is about chatting with you guys too. So please let us know. How are you doing on here today?
How are you doing?
And are you feeling the pressure changes? Did you feel the thing early this morning, the solar flare? What are you feeling?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's busy feeling it.
I'm like, we're just going to sit here until we get a response. I'm done. My input went in early. I'm done now. Not true.
No, it's
Here we go. Doing good today. Had another win moment where I realized I've healed and grown. Beautiful.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nalani's exhausted. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is something that is definitely a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Great.
Oh, yay.
That's awesome.
I had no anxiety this time with them leaving. That is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's
awesome.
So interesting. I know we talked about this before on the show, but we are constantly changing. But I don't think that we always recognize the extent of the changes that happen until we're faced with a situation again. And we're able to go, oh, I handled that different than I've done in the past.
Yep. It's amazing when that happens.
It really is. And so, you know how we go, why am I going through this again? Why do I have to keep going through this stuff again? Why does this keep coming back around to me? That's why, because those are our signposts to go, whoa, wait a minute. Like this thing happened again and I was okay. Or I didn't, react in the same way. Or I was able to, handle it in a different way. Like, I just think it's such a beautiful thing that we're able to get those opportunities because then we do get to see how things are changing.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if it's slight, like, I noticed we all have triggers, right? So I had a situation where something came up and I was like, I'm feeling something about that thing. Nope, I'm not going to get all charged up about it this time. I think I'm going to do this. And, so I changed it up. I actually gave myself time. So even if it's just that moment that you notice, right? That is big.
Yeah.
So give yourself credit for that stuff.
Yeah.
I've been asking, why did I choose this? What am I supposed to do with my gifts? Do you mean the cold? Because she said her cold is almost gone. And then it was this one. So why did you choose what? Being here on Earth?
That's
I ask myself that often. Why am I here?
Because my higher self, in its knowing, chose all of this.
My guides are like, I don't know, you chose it. And I was like, because we have an amazing job to do here, right? Mm-hmm. And that's for you as well, Melanie. You're a light worker, right? We're here to hold the frequency. How we all end up using whatever gifts we have, that's a choice most times, right? We have free will around some of that. So I do say some because we do have soul contracts for some things, which Jen and I are experiencing lately. Right, Jen? I'm like, I'm telling you, it's the Pleiadians. Maybe the Arcturian stuck in there. He's a little bit grumpier. Yes.
Yeah.
We come up to these things and we rub up against them. We're like, oh, it's making me grow again. You know, and there's that change fatigue that you get. Change fatigue is a thing. And that's the same in businesses and stuff too, you know, in these big corporations where they want to change this, they want to change that, and it changes like 100 things underneath it. So there's all of this change all at once because one decision was made, and and you know, all of the people doing the 100 changes get all like change stressed.
Yeah.
From change fatigue. So it's yeah. And I would say that we're probably feeling some of that stress because there have been so many changes on the planet, whether it's politically, which we don't talk about much, whether it's energetically, which we talk about all the time, you know, but all of those create personal changes for ourselves too. And, you know, there's a lot of bumping up against each other right now that's creating changes in relationships and situations and, you know, ultimately changing environments that you might be in. So just watch your stress level with the changes that are coming. It just requires a little bit more self-care and attention to our inner child or our heart space or, you know, wherever you're feeling that stress. So Nalani says, intuition. I'm experiencing remote views from being 3 years old. So a call to do some inner child healing.
Yeah, when we're given those insights, we're given them for a reason.
Yeah. So perhaps when you see yourself at 3 doing Ho'oponopono on 3-year-old self, that's what I often recommend while you're seeing it. Just got to go into like give yourself a hug there at 3 and do the Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
We do it differently, but either one works, right? It's at least the 4 phrases in whatever order. I'm sorry, please forgive me. You are worthy. Oh, wait, that's the one for self. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you.
Well, I mean, and you can add to it, right?
Well,
the 4 main ones are the original, you know, and they're very powerful on their own. But, you know, if it makes sense to add something, that's okay too.
For me, when I do it in the mirror, I do I'm sorry, please forgive me. You are worthy. I love you. Thank you. You are enough. And I find that helps when we're struggling a little bit with self-esteem. So I often use that with clients too.
Yeah. Yeah. And our inner child, I mean, if you really look at it, most of the issues that come up, we do have the capacity to help our child because more than anything, most of the time, they just want us to be there.
They just want love. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. Because sometimes we didn't grow up in households where that might be the case. They want to be loved. And that looks different for everybody. So go and ask your child when you're in there, right? Find out what is it that they want. Yeah. What do they need in this moment? I went and bought a coloring book because mine wanted to color, which is weird because I didn't want to color when I was a kid, really, but my inner child does. Maybe it's because I didn't allow myself to do it when I was a kid, right? So that's a thought. Yes, forgiveness is key for everyone else and for ourselves.
Yes.
Yep. Hey, Sham.
Hi, Sham. Thanks for joining.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Well, and really, I mean, we've gotten into that before on here about forgiveness, but I think we often think that forgiveness, if we're going to forgive somebody, that we're, letting them off the hook, or we're doing, whatever it is. But forgiveness is never about that. The other person doesn't even have to know that we've forgiven them. Forgiveness is really about freeing ourselves from allowing whatever happened to continue to control the decisions that we make and how we feel.
Yeah. And for me, I find the Ho'oponopono, you can actually feel, if you picture someone's face, you can actually feel where you're holding the energy around that. And when you actually direct the Ho'oponopono just by picturing the person's face, it's really for the collective, right? We're all connected. But when you picture that person's face, we're sort of directing it and allowing ourselves to offer forgiveness to that person, which ultimately is really for the collective as well as ourselves. So doing that, I find you will notice that the energy will move or release just with that, which goes back to how we started. We're putting a spell on ourselves, but a good one. Words are spells.
They are.
Right?
Thoughts are too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So
we're powerful. Some days I don't feel very powerful, but intellectually I know I'm powerful.
Absolutely. Well, and even the word choices, right? Like there's certain words even within our language that we don't even think about, but because of the meanings and the energies behind them, it's really important to take a step back and kind of go, okay, what is it that I really want to say? What energy do I really want to connect with here? And then allow ourselves to move from that place, or to express from that place. Right? Like the Emoto study and the power of words.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Master Emoto, if you haven't seen it, please go and take a look at the water experiment. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Sorry. The silence made me giggle.
I think they put something in Tanys's water today. The Pleiadians, I mean.
What are we programmed with today? Giggles.
It was interesting. I actually recently had a couple conversations about water and programming water.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that, and it doesn't have to be anything big. Like I remember one person was actually telling me about some like big device that they that people can buy to program your water, and it's like, dude, all I have to do is love.
Yep. Or I mean, the Emoto study used just writing the word love and placing a glass of water. I'm doing stuff here, you can't see what I'm doing. Placing a glass of water on a piece of paper with love written on it. Right? Or you could use aqualead or Reiki.
Yeah.
Right? Aqualead is like Reiki, but it's water-based healing. It's great for inflammation and helps to heal, rivers and oceans and stuff too. It's lots of fun. So water. Cleansing. Emotional.
It's cleansing, it's grounding. Whenever there is a shift energetically, to drink water helps to ground in that shift.
Definitely. Yeah.
Lots of beautiful uses for it. And it's interesting, right? Like, we're talking about the energies right now. And, if we're stuck or we don't know, just to do that, to grab a cup of water and to infuse some positive energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit and sip, if you will.
Sip, as Gerald says, yes.
And allow yourself to just take in that energy and to sit with that for a moment. And then go move and do something.
Well, and I mean, it has something to do with your horoscope signs as well, right? So a few of them, like, I'm sure this is going to come as a surprise. I'm a Leo, and which is a fire sign. So water for me is very like calming. It's like it helps to calm the nerves and calm all that stuff because it's, balances the water. They balance each other out. So, and if you're a water sign, it probably feels like home. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. What?
You looked like you were deep in thought for a moment. I think we're both being pulled a little bit. I was feeling that this afternoon too, that pulled feeling like, oh, I'm supposed to be listening somewhere else, and yet I am here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys have that? Where you all of a sudden feel like you're like not quite all here and you might be off somewhere else in your consciousness?
Too often.
Yeah. Oh, Shem says she's a fire sign. Yeah. Water is great for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, we talk about balancing the energies. And sometimes, if something is getting a little bit too much, then we want to be able to tone it down a bit. And other times it's like, what? I need to accentuate this energy a little bit. Right? So
Kaylee said she felt that in class yesterday. And Shem felt that yesterday. I felt that yesterday. So interesting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So this is a fun comment. So she says that those darn filing cabinets needed sorting. I often would go into work and my director would come and she'd be like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, my files are all over the floor," and I didn't mean paper ones. "My files are all over the floor up here, but we're here."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's so fascinating, right? And I talk about the files in the filing room as an analogy when we're doing like EMDR or kind of therapy stuff to understand the way that our brain works with memories and all of that. And it's such an important piece to notice, when our files are all over the floor or when they're, stuck half in, half out, or the ones that fell behind the filing cabinet.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Do I have ones behind my filing cabinet? I better look at that. I guess maybe I might have lost the boat on some things there because they might be hiding. My response to my boss when he asks that is alive and breathing. Everything else is a bonus. That is a good.
Mm-hmm.
Most days we hope for more than alive and breathing.
Yeah.
And whatever that might be, because days vary.
Bare bones minimum alive and breathing. I mean.
Yes. I think that's what happens when we go to a filing room. Forget what we went there for. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I really got to pull out that filing cabinet because I'm sure there's a lot behind the filing cabinet.
It's those moments where your brain goes, "Phew."
I don't want to do this anymore. Wait, that's what we do with those unwanted behaviors. I don't think I believe this anymore. Put it behind the filing cabinet. I think we're supposed to send it into the light, not behind the filing cabinet.
No, not behind the filing.
Because then we have to dust behind the filing cabinet every so often, and then it's just a big job.
No. Well, and this is the thing, right? Like, we were talking about, shadow stuff and shadow work.
Yes. That's the shredding bin for those. It sounds violent, though, when you're thinking about thoughts. I think I want to send them into the light.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
I'll be quiet now.
This idea that if we transmute them, then we can just file them away.
It's true.
Right? Like these experiences and stuff, because at the same time, like everything has been there for some reason.
Yeah.
Right? And so the more that we're able to really just file things properly, the easier it is to navigate in here.
Yep. Yep. She says as she looks at her messy desk. Yes, I agree.
That's some filing to do, I guess, huh?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. It's that business thing. We do have files and such.
Mm-hmm.
And way too many crystals on my desk.
They don't.
Although I don't know if you can have too many crystals on your desk.
No. And there's no filing. They get to just be pretty everywhere and send their energy and love and light to us.
Yeah, it's the paper that's scattered around with it that has to go in the file cabinet. I digress. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's pretty wild. It's interesting. I'm looking at the time and going, it's 5:55. I have no idea. Like, I know we started a little late, so we can keep going for a little extra. But like, what happened to the hour?
Like I said, I don't want time. It just restricts everything.
Hey guys, it's voting time.
Home play.
1 or 2?
Ooh. Oh, here's a question. While we're waiting for them, we could answer the question.
Yes. Have either of us had any successes this week?
Yes. Oh, wait, you want us to share them?
That wasn't the question.
It wasn't. I answered the question.
Yes, it's actually been a really incredible week for different things happening. And so I don't know if you want to share first, or I can.
You go ahead. I have to remember what I
was just thinking.
I have to pull the filing cabinet out from behind the filing.
I don't want to start with like the most recent thing and then work backwards. I'm like kind of bring you forward. So last week a lot of great sessions, a lot of great insights. There was a few things that kind of went on last week in general that were really really exciting. So we did we had a meeting with the Alliance that went really well. Talking about some different things that are coming up. And I recorded another For the Love of Mystics last week with Jane 108, and holy moly, was that an incredible conversation. I think I talked to you guys about it, that I was going to be doing it last Monday, but it was fantastic. And then we had Galactic Gab with Lisa, which was super
We did.
fun last week. Another conversation that flew by.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went really well. And then, like I said, just a week of really good work with the clients. It was interesting. We had the Galactic Shaman class this past weekend, which some of you are aware of. And that was another really fantastic conversation. And I find every time we talk about the Lyran lifetime and things like that, more information comes through, more insights are available. We connect even more with that energy. So that was a really, really beautiful class. And then that evening, I had the honor of being on a show with Sylvain from the Alliance and Karen Swain, who does it's another podcast like this, and it's a radio show as well. And we had a beautiful conversation about the Alliance, about what's coming, about, just consciousness and what's needed in order for that to move forward. So if you didn't catch that, you can see it on my YouTube channel. And then some beautiful things have unfolded from there. So this coming Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, I'm going to be on again. And we're actually going to be talking about my Lyran lifetime and the book and all of that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So yes, some really wonderful things have happened in the last week.
Beautiful. Yeah, well, like you, I mean, I've been involved in the Alliance meetings. I also had a podcast with Glenda Dawson. Hers is recorded, not live, so stay tuned for that. That'll come out soon. A similar kind of thing. I was on with Sylvain as well. So I think that for both of us, we really help to balance the energies of all of that in many ways. And so it makes for a beautiful, well-rounded conversation, I think, for those sorts of podcasts. And what else did I do? I saw some great synchronicities over the week. There was things that would happen and I'd be like, oh, that's not so good. Next thing I know, it would be changed. And it seemed to be a really powerful manifesting week for me. And lots of great sessions with people and supper with Jen. I'm looking at my calendar. We had supper on Tuesday, so that was fun.
And here's the play-by-play.
They asked.
I love those suppers.
Me too. Yes, because the Friday was quite an interesting day. I had, so most of you know that I do another podcast for My Place Home Care as well, called Compassionate Conversations. And so we had a group on there that I used to be the vice president of the board for a while, for about 8 years, Ability First Ottawa. And so I had that podcast first thing in the morning. Then we had Galactic Gab. And then I ended up doing the podcast with Glenda Dawson all on Friday. So Friday was a magical talking kind of day. It was lots of talking. Yeah. And then I taught the other 2 days and, lots of fun, beautiful people. And those are my successes. There's lots. I mean, I could get into lots of detail, but that's about all I'm going to share at the moment. Because we're out of time. And we still have to do the other stuff.
But all of that to say, like and subscribe, and you can go back and watch all the shows and watch all the shows coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's been a whirlwind, but it's been so much fun. And in terms of what's coming up, I know I mentioned it earlier, but I did just do a show with Gerald. And then this weekend, let me double check the date. But this weekend is the Beyond Christmas. And so it's going to be really cool because we're going to be talking about Mary Magdalene and all of that energy as well. So that's super exciting with Beyond Being Human.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's so many cool things coming up.
Yeah. Oh, I should mention too. So we've got a couple of I have a couple of courses starting as well that I just put up an intro to the Celtic Shamanic program because that's coming soon. So if that's something you guys are interested in, please take a look because the intro will allow you to come and ask questions, and it's on the 10th at 7:30. 7. Yeah. So if that's something that interests you, please take a look at that or reach out if you have questions and you can't make that day. That's one of the year-long programs that I do. And we are looking at doing, well, we can add that next week because we haven't picked a date yet, but we're looking at doing another Peacekeepers. So as well as a couple of other things that we're working on. So stay tuned. We're in a real creative month.
Yeah.
This coming time. So it's exciting.
Lots of stuff going on.
Absolutely. And I'm going to be recording another Bridge to the Galaxy this week. So I'm looking forward to getting that up, which will be for the Alliance. That's the podcast that I do for the Alliance. So
super cool. Yeah. So much exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
All right. So the card that you picked, find it here. Honor your sexuality.
Oh.
Have you forgotten your sacred lineage, grandchild? You are the climactic union of sacred feminine and sacred masculine. You were created in an ecstatic spark of cosmic love. Everything within you is made with perfection and great purpose. Remember the important teaching, as above, so below. Human beings have been given the sacred gift of procreation to birth children of great light through their own ecstatic, loving unions. Sexual energy is meant to be fueled by love. This is sacred law. Love your partner whether you choose to stay with them or let them go. The sexual life force flows in a circle affecting both you and your partner. Play with this energy and learn to move it around in a cyclical way. Let the circle pass through your heart, for love creates miracles. When the circle is broken by ignorance, by shame, or by disgust, the mighty spark of creation cannot ignite the hearts of two lovers. Your sexuality, no matter what it is or who it is shared with, holds great power. When humans understand its sacred purpose, you will transform and transcend many earthly limitations. Be proud of your sexual inheritance, grandchild, for it is the most sacred.
Okay.
It
is a very powerful thing, right?
Well, and it's interesting, right? Like, look at the energies that we are in and what we were talking about, right? We're talking about inertia and we're talking about impatience. And there are like two sides of this, right? This very stagnant, stuck energy or this forced energy. And so we didn't talk about sexuality here tonight, but we did talk about how we move energy within us. And sexuality is one aspect of how we move that energy. And are we stuck or stagnant in our energy, or are we allowing that energy to flow? So really honoring that and honoring the balance, right? And again, this isn't about man, woman. It's about sacred feminine and sacred masculine, which is in all of us.
Yeah.
And so whether you have a partner or not, look at it from that aspect of, do you have divine union within you? And are you allowing those energies to flow and be creative and give birth to things within you that you want to bring forward?
Yeah, that's the thing. It is a very potent creative energy, and that is really a big part of what we're going into. So, and it can be very healing.
Yeah.
To step into that sacred energy. So, Kaylee says, balance, worthiness, and love.
Absolutely.
That is a good message to end our show on. And we want to invite you to come back next week. We will have Gerald from Tarot Stash. So we'll be having a Twillow Stash next week. And then we have another special guest coming up the following week. Lori Layden will be with us. She'll be joining us again as well. She's been on a previous episode too, so it'll be awesome to have her on. And we're working on lots more new guests for the new year, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, lead with love.
Beautiful.
Final thoughts?
No. What wanted to come through is what I said about the card, and that's
fair. So lead with love. Let love lead you and get into the flow of life. And we'll see you next week on Twillow Talk. Bye now.